Today, we have our expert to share some tips about job interview and also language learning. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Mr. Mohammed. My name is Ammar Al-kattan. I am an English teacher for over 13 years. I spent my work life, let's say, in teaching general English, international exam preparation courses, getting people ready for university, and ESP, English for specific purposes as well.
That's impressive. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And could you please tell us what inspired you to be a teacher?
Well, that's a long story, but I'll make it short. I had a friend, like a very close friend, who was studying English. And he inspired me, to be honest. I loved the way he loved English. So I wanted to live the same experience. And yeah, to be honest, I did. I lived it. I'm still living it.
That's awesome. That's great. All right, thank you. By the way, today, just to make the video a bit more engaging and also fun, we have a game here. We're going to play together.
Okay.
So, most probably you are familiar with this Jenga game. I just recently I got introduced to it. So we're going to just take one block and then we just continue this interview till it falls down.
Awesome.
So it depends on the length of this game.
That's fine.
I'm going to start first and then it will be your turn. This is one for me.
So is it like one for each question or?
Yeah, one for each question, but in reality, I'm going to ask the question.
Okay, that's fine.
Now it is your turn.
Shall I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. All right, I want to know about our sector. For teaching, most probably you have a lot of experience in Turkey, in the teaching sector. Could you please tell us about our sector in Turkey?
Well, I started working as an English teacher in Turkey in 2013. This is like 10 years ago. Teaching English in Turkey is needed. The need for learning English is so big. The market needs English teachers because Turkey started caring for English, I can say in 2009 or 10, as far as I heard when I came to Turkey. Before that, they preferred only their language. In 2009-10, I'm not sure about the date, they started inserting English as a language, as a mandatory language in schools. And they started with the secondary school, grade 5. And then they started going down till they reached grade 1, if you got my point. So from that point on, English started, or the Turkish people, let me say, started being aware of the importance of English, specifically that Turkey, and to be more accurate, Istanbul, receives, I can say, millions of tourists every year. So English is the only language to communicate with all those people, the tourists, I mean. So this is the first section, the first part, let me say, of my answer. The second part of the answer is this. Turkey, since 2002, put a plan to be pioneering in the educational sector, specifically university sector. And they founded that it's a must to have some majors to be taught in English at university. So they started investing in that, and English again started to be a need for those students who would like to study in English, because they are receiving international students.
I have a very good question to ask you, but before that, I'm going to move one of them. Let me see. That way.
Oh. Shall I use only one hand, or I can?
It's up to you.
Oh,
okay. It's up to you. You are free.
I'll fix this. Shall I?
Yeah, please. Please go on. And while you're doing it, I'm going to ask my next question.
Okay, please.
How come you have a lot of information about our sector in Turkey? Do you have any company, or do you deal with other teachers?
Yes, actually both of them. I launched my own company, My Easy Education, last year. So it's still a startup, like a new project. But this is not the beginning of my, let's say, administration life. I started, I worked as like a manager of a language school since the beginning of the 2016 till almost the end of 2020. So I can say 5 years, almost 5 years. During working as a manager there, I had connections with like publishing houses, Pearson, Cambridge, McGraw-Hill, Macmillan, etc. Like many publishing houses in Turkey and in the Middle East. I got connections with many teachers, believe me, like over 900 to more than 900 English teachers, to be more specific.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And I had connections with the schools as well, because we had some contracts with the schools.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Let me move the next one, and then I'll ask you to tell us about our sector. Now, if somebody wants to come to Turkey to work as an English teacher or as a teacher, do you recommend that?
It depends on where that person is coming from.
All right. Could you tell us more?
Yeah, sure. I mean, definitely people work for one of 2 or 3 reasons. I'll be mentioning 2 reasons.
Sure.
The common ones. People work either for experience or for money or for both.
Yep.
Right? So if this person is coming to Turkey to work for experience, I do recommend that.
Mm-hmm.
If that person is going to come to Turkey to work for money, here it depends. It depends on the currency exchange. Because with the inflation nowadays, I can say that it's still worth coming to Turkey and work, but it depends on the currency in their home country.
That's very good. And you talked about also experience. Could you elaborate on it a bit more?
Sure. I'll give you an example.
Sure.
Last weekend, which is like a couple of days before, I was a trainer in a TEFL workshop. In one of the centers, launched a TEFL workshop, teaching English as a foreign language. We give a short workshop of 8 hours to introduce the program to the participants. Some of them were already teachers, but with no experience.
Mm-hmm.
And the others have good use of English, but they don't know how to teach. They like teaching, but they don't know how to teach. So we introduced the program to them during the workshop. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the workshop, at the end of 8 hours, all of them asked for the full program. That is 120 hours. And at the end of the program, all those participants will be given a certificate from a strong awarding body, and they will be English teachers recognized from America or from England. It depends on the awarding body. Regarding the awarding body that my company is collaborating with now, it's from America. And we are getting the program. We will sign the contracts very soon, within 1 or 2 weeks, I think.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And then we will launch the full program, which is 120 hours of training.
That would be great.
Yeah. So I can say that the market needs English teachers. There are English teachers, but they are nowadays in 2023, I can notice that there is no middle, either no experience or fully experienced. The fully experienced people are asking for their rights. which means like financially speaking, they need like something to match their knowledge.
Yes.
And this is actually, I feel that this is their right to ask for it.
Yep.
For those who are inexperienced, they cannot get the opportunity to teach because all like qualified and good places, reputed places, let me say, ask for like experienced teachers.
Yep.
I mean, if we don't train the inexperienced, how can they get the experience?
Yep.
Right? So we should give them the chance to start.
You're right.